Would you believe that one of the most humorous superheroes in all of DC started out in a very dark place and actually tried to commit suicide? Well, let me introduce you to Plastic Man. Plastic Man's first appearance was Police Comics #1 in 1941. He was created by Jack Cole. Plastic Man was a crook named Patrick O'Brien. Orphaned at the age of 10 and forced to live on the streets, he fell into a life of crime. As an adult, he became part of a crime ring, specializing as a safecracker. During a late-night heist at the Crawford Chemical Works, he and his 3 fellow gang members were surprised by a night watchman. During the gang's escape, O'Brien was shot in the shoulder and doused with a large drum of unidentified chemical liquid. He escaped into the street only to see his gang members have already drove off without him. Fleeing on foot and suffering increasing disorientation from the gunshot wound and the exposure of the chemical, O'Brien eventually passed out at the foothills of a mountain near the city. He awoke to find himself in a bed in a mountain retreat, being tended to by a monk who discovered him unconscious that morning. This monk, sensing a capacity of great good in O'Brien, turned away police officers that trailed him to the monastery. During his short stay at the monastery, he discovered that the chemical had entered his bloodstream and caused a radical physical change. His body now had all the properties of rubber, allowing him to stretch, bounce, and mold himself into any shape. He immediately determined to use his new abilities on the side of the law and order, donning a red, black, and yellow, and then later red and yellow rubber costume and capturing criminals as Plastic Man. He concealed his true identity with a pair of white goggles by remolding his face. As O'Brien, he maintained his career and connections with the underworld as a means of gathering information of criminal activity. After 1985 Crisis of Infinite Earths, there became a 4-issue miniseries run of Plastic Man in 1988 to 89. The main difference between the two was O'Brien was about to commit suicide by jumping off the bridge, but he was stopped by a guy named Woozy Winks, a former mental patient who is kicked out of his institution due to the lack of funding, or as Woozy puts it, something called Reaganomics. He desired nothing more than to return to the warm safety of a straitjacket in a padded room. O'Brien and Woozy decided to work together and capitalize on O'Brien's new powers to make their fortunes. O'Brien wanting to get rich quick, and Woozy just wanting to get back to the old room. But they couldn't decide if there was more money in crime or crime fighting. Then they resorted in flipping a coin and chose the side of the law, though Woozy had his doubts early on. O'Brien ended up with the name Plastic Man after a reporter misinterpreted his first choice, Elastic Man. O'Brien and Woozy set up a detective agency in New York City and go on to have various misadventures together. Plastic Man was a prominent member of the Justice League during Grant Morrison's run on the title. The story arc, Rock of Ages, shows Batman recruiting O'Brien to infiltrate Lex Luthor's Injustice League, and he would be disguised as the Joker, which he does successfully. He notably engages in combat with the goddess Circe, proving immune to her magic ability to turn humans into animals. He is later made a full-time member of the Justice League and aids the League in several battles. During this period, he becomes close friends with fellow new members, Steel and Zor-El. After the extended League dissolves at the end of the World War III arc, he is the only member other than the Big Seven to retain full-time membership in the JLA. Powers and abilities: elasticity, size alteration, shape-shifting, superhuman agility, superhuman strength, color change, invulnerability, regeneration, telepathic immunity, immortality, ultrasonic detection, and rubber organs. Abilities: contortionism, skilled thief, a master detective, and hand-to-hand combat. Not only is Plastic Man one of the funniest people in DC, he's actually one of the best superheroes. Let us know what you all think. If you have enjoyed what you have watched, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you check out our other videos. Thank you.